Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ICEcast. I am Rick, and I am joined today once again with my buddy Brian, also known as Bliss.
Hello.
And welcome back for the second time, Dalton, who is now known as Auburn Ice, the newest member.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So last time you were on, when we left, we actually went and played Siege for the first time, and now you're officially a member of Team Ice, bro.
Yes. Excited to be a part of the team.
Gotta get
I
you a
think
shirt, man.
A
Yeah, we
shirt.
do.
Their shirts.
Yeah, we have shirts. This is the
Okay.
IceCast one, but the other ones have our call sign up top.
Yeah,
Um, It was funny because you're kind of a gamer, not like you won't play games on your own. If you do, it's probably like Madden or NBA.
yeah.
You had Siege before that, but you jumped right in with this group with Bliss and I and Geppetto, who Geppetto's not on this podcast because he hasn't been playing this new season. And that's what this one's all going to be about. We're going to talk about Shadow Legacy, but back to Auburn, you jumped in and just rolled right with it. You were like that missing piece we hadn't had, bro.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, I played Six Siege maybe 2 or 3 times before I started playing with y'all. And then I played Call of Duty like as long as I can remember. So shooting games has definitely been something I've done before, but just not something I've done heavily. And
Right,
so once I started getting in a role with y'all and kind of seeing how y'all play, it just kind of became secondhand nature for me.
right. Bliss, how do you feel he's been doing with the team?
Yeah, it's worked out perfectly, man, to be honest with you. I mean, for somebody to come straight into the group, like we've had other members, and a lot of people don't like Siege for the way the game's played in comparison to, let's say, Battlefield or Call of Duty, but for Auburn to come in and then just instantly mesh, especially with the different personalities we have, there was not a second guess by any member, and he meshed extremely well, and it's been paying off 100% ever since he
Oh
joined.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
100%.
definitely made it easy for me, y'all being so open and welcoming to, the newbie of the group and kind of been helping me out too in different ways of playing the game and tactics and stuff like that. It's made it a lot
Right.
easier for me.
Yeah, no, you mesh really well. We Trigger still joins us every now and then, and unfortunately, Paulie, who's melted ice, he's just not into the game, but he's over there kicking butt on Call of Duty. So if you guys are over there on Call of Duty Warzone, you're still getting your asses wiped by Team Ice. I'm letting you know that now.
We're all
Not
over the
all of us
place.
might be all in there, but we all over the place. So when you see melted ice and you get your head peeled back, we got his back. But we're gonna go ahead and because Dalton, you luckily joined just at the end of last season, so you've got to experience all of this new season, Shadow Legacy, which for Brian and I who've been playing a while, especially Bliss, he's played longer than I have, but this is the biggest update this game has ever seen. Before we get into that, though, Bliss, this is for you as I hit my microphone. I do that every podcast. Apparently, I just read this before we started recording today. There's been a small leak from an Australian store that put out a sign that said Rainbow Six Quarantine releases 12/1/2020.
It's outstanding. That's the
Right.
for a new house. That's gonna be perfect.
So now that's a game. I don't even know if you heard of it yet, Auburn.
I've
It
not.
is. It's a 3-person team, so it'd be like the three of us if we roll co-op, and it's against like AI zombies, almost like a Left 4 Dead kind of feel, but with
Okay.
Rainbow Six Siege operators.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's a whole
Okay.
different take on it. Instead of like that defend attack, there's a story you got to go through. And Bliss and I have been looking forward to this for over a year now.
That sounds awesome.
Now it's a leak, so take it with a grain of salt until Ubisoft comes out and says a release date.
Right.
Don't quote us on any of that, but that would be great if it came out this year.
Oh, yeah.
But so that's definitely something I wanted to bring up. But
I feel like it'd be logical for him to do it, especially with all the new consoles coming out. It's gonna sell
Yep.
quick.
Yeah, it's a big deal because I mean, if you look at the Call of Duty franchise, man, they come out with what is that Nazi zombies almost with every game.
Yep.
And if we take Siege, which we love, and put a zombie mix to it, especially with a storyline, I mean, that's going to be phenomenal.
It's gonna be great. Just the fact of thinking like you have a mission to do now. You're not just defending, you're not attacking, and you can have a team of, let's say, Buck, Frost, and Cav, and it's like, whoa, like you're mixing the two finally. You can have Monty and Doc or something like that, and that's really cool idea.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the biggest things I can say about the Tom Clancy series going on, man. It's one of the only things I can say negative about Siege is there's literally no single player campaign or co-op, and that's one thing that kind of set me aside with the just standard PvP. But we know it, we love it. It's a love-hate relationship, but the fact they're coming out with that's going to be amazing.
That's one of the best things that I liked from that Ghost Recon's Wildland. They came out with that small DLC where Cav and Valk and Bandit were involved in it, and you didn't get to play as them, but you see them in the extended
cameos.
universe, so to say, and they were in the cutscenes, and to have them. And speaking of extended universe, with this new season, Shadow Legacy, the new operator Zero is Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell games, which are old but popular and just one of the greatest franchises for gaming, up there with Assassin's Creed.
I would love to see another Splinter Cell on next gen.
I think they're making one. I heard they're working on one. I think they said Ubisoft said something about possible Splinter Cell, but there was another one. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, Ubisoft's killing it. I know they're dealing with a lot of legal stuff, but they're killing it right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's start off with talking about Zero, who is Sam Fisher. I mean, his gadget basically, the gun that shoots the cameras. You get 4 of them. You can see both sides of the wall. That is so crucial.
Oh yeah, it's made a big difference.
Mm-hmm. The only thing is, for me, sorry to cut you off.
Oh, you good?
He still isn't crucial enough for one of us to drop our mains, if that makes sense. So like for people who don't know, and for anyone that's watching, we're console players. We are not PC players. You look at like Get Flanked and Coconut Bro and all that. These popular YouTubers are cut their PC based, whereas we're Xbox One console players. But for me, I main Dokkaebi. Like that's my main. Over a day played with her, and if I say so myself, I kill it with her. Bliss is lucky enough to be able to play anybody, but if I were to say who his main is, it would be Ying. If he's playing Ying, you guys are going to be screwed. Granted, we're going to be blinded.
That's standard data, man. I swear, I have no intention of blinding you, but always it's either the first or second Candela is going to hit that wall and come back while the other two are there.
Yeah,
but
we're just in there like, whoa.
We've got the strat down as far as getting the plan in, blinding, smoking, and it's just there's no way you're going to stop it.
No, that's definitely something I want to hit on later, which basically I just wrote down as playing objective, but we'll get to that in a minute. But back to Zero, it's like I truly feel like right now I would say we're down to a team of 3. Geppetto hopefully comes back. Right now he's taking a break from the game. He just wasn't enjoying it, and I understand that 100%. And hopefully someday he'll get that itch again to come back and enjoy it with us. But we need two more people who find the essentials to be who they want to be. And I would think Zero should be an essential. And even though he gets banned a lot, I'd say Thatcher.
Yeah. I mean Thatcher. I mean, you used to think Thatcher's only purpose was simply removing Kaids or bandits, but Thatcher takes out cap cans. It'll take out, at this point with all the updates, it doesn't take them out, but it'll nullify the effects of certain cams or certain devices that other operators have. But I agree wholeheartedly, man. It's not something, as far as Zero, it's not something we need right now. Just like on defense, Valkyrie is crucial with her cams, 100%. Cams are everything when you're playing objective. And for us not to have that, it hurts. But with the mains we're playing, we make it work either way. If we had a 4th and 5th, definitely those operators would need to be utilized 100%.
Right. I've looked at the stats for all three of us recently, and on daily stats alone, and because we just decided probably 2 weeks ago, hey, let's stick to these people who we're using, and let's try not to, because even for me on defense, there's times like we need a Kaid, and I was like, fine, I'll be Kaid, and but even now it's like, screw it, I'm sticking with Malusi, who's my best defender, and my stats show. I looked at the daily percentage, and our wins are just going up. We're winning a lot more this past 2 weeks, last night aside. But it's a comfort level, and like you take Auburn for example, he started off with Capcan and he was killing it, but once he got Frost, you are just filthy and dangerous with her, from handling the gun to just those placements of the traps, bro.
Yeah, I've been like, I even think about it when I'm not playing the game. Like, where placement of frost mats, I'm like, all right, so this is where I'm getting kills. Where should I put the other one? It's just, I'm
Right.
like just constantly trying to like strategize with it.
Right. Yeah, I don't see another defender right now. I mean, do I think Frost is an essential defender? No, I really don't. I mean, I think maybe a Bandit or a Valkyrie would be more essential. But right now, with how you're playing and how we've been sometimes dropped down to where it's just me against three or you or against three, somebody's catching that Frost mat, and it helps out a lot. So right now, it's perfect.
And I love it too. My favorite thing with Frost is when I get that final kill when it's like 1v1, or like either that or they're hunting for the diffuser and just snap a Frost trap. I'm like, yes.
That's one of the best moments is when we get a body dropped in a hallway close to the bomb. You're able to pick up a mat, put it right on the bomb, and then we just wait because we know someone's getting caught.
Oh yeah.
Nobody pays attention. They're peeking corners. They're peeking around the wall to see if they can get a peek on somebody, and they snap their ankles, and it's awesome. And on attack, you've made the switch finally from Fuse, who he's decent for if you're starting and stuff, but I'm so glad you made the switch to Gridlock because you're killing it. Better. She's so good because like Bliss and I have always done, we play objective and we plant, and having Gridlock with those spikes after we make a plant, it's almost unstoppable.
Yeah, not even just the spikes, man. I mean, the added smokes, and let alone the LMG she carries. I mean, you lay down that suppressive on that bomb, that's easily 10 to 15 seconds that the defenders cannot touch that bomb. Just from the sheer velocity of the gunfire coming in on it. I mean, it's tremendous. I'm glad you picked her because you're rocking it, like Rick said.
I'm happy y'all told me to pick her. It worked out.
On top
good.
of that, with Gridlock, she has that super shorty. So if we need a hatch blown or a small hole blown to get out, you got our back with that. And now Bliss, you're rocking the what I have written down here, the new hard breach gadget with Yang that just blows that little hole, and that's awesome. Like, that's so good to have.
It's come in handy a lot.
Yeah. I was, to be honest with you, I was a little set aside by using that gadget, but under realizing that, hey, you got Gridlock, she's got smokes, Dokubi's got the smokes, there's no need for 6 smoke canisters. So I was like, let me rock this a little bit, see how it plays out. And that thing has been super crucial in getting in and out of objectives. And
not just that, but how did it play out for you on Oregon? One round, and you use it above that Mira. Not only did you take the Mira out, but you pop Doc.
Yeah, somebody marked the Mira, and I was sitting above it, and I noticed I could break that floor there, man. I put that sucker right on it, looked down, popped that Mira, and then boom, I think I killed somebody right after that. I mean, it's for not having, I mean, the biggest thing I want to say is, like, whenever we used to fixate ourselves on, we need hard breachers, and the greatest thing I think we did was steered away from that, because it definitely opened up our eyes and said, hey, there's other ways we can push, other ways we can work, and we've been killing that 100%.
Oh yeah.
And also with it being console players, console community, there's just that, like, you look at Consulate. If you're in garage, 90% of the time they're pushing that garage. I know they're gonna try. We're gonna bandit. We're gonna prepare. Now it's like, screw it. We're pushing the other bomb, and we're coming from the stairs. We're dropping down hatch, and nobody's ready for that. So it's really helped out our game just in general to do that.
Yeah, 100%. Like I was saying, man. I mean, it's hard breachers are great, but it's whenever Thatcher's banned and you have an Ace and a Habana, it's pointless at that point.
Yep.
Because Twitch drones are unreliable, 100%.
Yeah, the only other person that I think would be helpful would be, and honestly, if we needed it, I think Dalton could play it, and that would be Capitao. He rocks a really good LMG, which has become your main attack weapon, and that fire side piece. If we ever need to wipe out through a drone hole, you just fire it in there, and that normally takes care of bandits. Maybe not a Kaid, but definitely a bandit.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, we don't need him. So back to just the update in general. This is a topic that Get Flanked covered, and I was really curious on how you guys felt about it. For Auburn, he wouldn't know as much because normally when we get the new seasons, you hear about it. And it's like, all right, this release date's coming out. Prepare for this. The test servers are over. It's ready, coming out, so-and-so date. This one, just a random Friday, everyone was like, holy it's out.
Right?
Oh, my God. And so, on one level, it kind of felt like a weak rollout. It's like, oh, well, there's no excitement now. And there's that feeling that sometimes it's like, all right, it's coming out 2 weeks from now on a Tuesday. Hey, boss, I can't work that day. A lot of gamers are like that. But was it a weak rollout or was it a perfect rollout? Because it's like, oh, here we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
Because God.
Oh, we lost you.
YouTubers don't know ahead of time. No, I was saying, I apologize. Okay. I was saying, God forbid these YouTubers don't know something ahead of time. To me, it was a perfect rollout because I get a text message from you in the group chat, and it's like, boom, it's out. And I'm just like, okay, all right, let's get it going tonight. Let's learn. Let's figure out what's all new and everything like that. And at the within the same pace, you don't have all these trolls who are, all right, it's released on this day. Let's all show up.
Right.
So it kind of shocked a lot of people, but I think it was perfect not aiming for massive publicity and trying to promote it as much as possible because that's happened in the past, man, and it's just been the critics have lit it up this time, and the only reason I can see is literally, oh, you didn't know in advance. Too bad.
Right.
But I think they probably one of the best and biggest updates they've had, and I'm super ecstatic about it. The only negative thing is there were some aspects that they didn't touch on, but I'm sure we'll get to that later.
Oh yeah. What do you think about the rollout, Auburn? This basically being your first new season rollout.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to compare it to previous times of this game, but in my experience with other games at least, I liked it because it's not like you actually have the opportunity to oh, okay, it came out. Let's go in, let's learn, let's adapt to different things versus going in and it's just a wave of 100 people and you don't even have a chance to really learn about, what's different, what's new. You actually, could adapt to the new things in the game.
Mm-hmm. I understand. I'm almost basically on the same mode as Bliss, where it's like I enjoy knowing, I enjoy them saying, hey, this is when the update's coming out. But at the same time, Friday when I was just happened to be scrolling through news and I was like, holy crap, it's live. And I sent that text and I was like, dude, it's on tonight. The rest of the day I was hype. I was like, I couldn't wait to get out of work. Yeah, I definitely think they rolled it out perfectly. And especially given the fact that the operator was Sam Fisher, who's always known for being stealthy and coming out of the shadows. It was kind of cool. I don't know if that was intentional, but I enjoyed that. One of the things that I want to talk about out of the new update is this new reinforcement pool. Now, I don't know how it is for PC players or even PS4 players, but for Xbox, at first, I was hype. You know what I mean? I was like, this is great. Auburn can go set his traps. I can take care of a couple more. What's happened, and Bliss can attest to this now because it's happened to you 2 nights now. It's happened to me since it started. I'm putting up almost 8 damn reinforcements before somebody even helps.
Yeah, and the biggest thing with that is I think the reinforcement pool crucial, right? Because no longer do you have to deal with, especially in our case, running only a 3 stack. We don't have to deal with the the occasional randomness of 2 randoms never putting up the reinforcements. So now we got that reinforcement pool. Granted, 100%, like you said, over the past 2 nights, I've dealt with it. It sucks putting up every reinforcement on your own. But in the same sense, it's not going to change. It's here to stay. So we need to dedicate, in my opinion, who's going to be doing it. And honestly, it's circumstantial because each map is different. There's different maps to where Auburn needs to 100% buck out, get out there, do his thing, and the same as you. There's been plenty of times in the past 2 nights where I said, Rick, go do your Malusis. I got this.
Right.
So it's kind of 50-50 for me. I love it for the fact that we have all the reinforcements, right? We're no longer struck out 4 reinforcements low, and there's a crucial spot right there because randoms went around and be dumbasses.
Right.
But in the same sense, yeah, it kind of sucks when you put 8-10 reinforcements up, then you still have to put up your Jaegers, Malusis, Frostmats, whatever the case may be. And not to mention, if a team is fucking rushing, you're screwed. That's that's like the biggest thing that's hindered me this update is doing the reinforcements and nobody puts up a fucking door and objective. That shit has killed me so many times. But in the same sense, it's not blaming either of you. It's blaming the randoms that we play with. It's you put a door up, they'll bust it down, haul ass. That's it, and you don't even know any better.
Right.
Yeah, and one thing I've tried to do more too, to add on to the doors thing, is I've noticed you like talking about it before. I'm like, all right, let me throw up a couple doors and then go do my frost mats, just so your back is covered in case you're still putting up reinforcements, and then they just come behind you, pop you dead, and then one less man.
Yeah,
and one of the things with your frost mats are if you put them in the wrong spot by a doorway, we can't close that door. So you had to get used to that too.
That's happened a few times, bro, and legit, I've literally done that, and I'm crunched on time. I will shoot your frost mat out.
Yeah, understandable.
I feel like shit about it, but at the same time, I'm like, I just don't have time to deal with this to have you come get it because you're over somewhere doing something else. But I mean, literally, I think all of the complaints that we could muster literally add up to not having a full 5 stack.
Yeah. Right.
But we've done well enough 100% as a 3-man. Like, I cannot complain how we play. There's nights where we're off, somebody's off, and it affects everybody, but when we're all together and having a good fucking night, we're unstoppable.
For sure.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, with the reinforcement pool, we hit on that. I wrote down, like, this new season brought out a bunch of new sites. There's not much to talk about them. They look good. They work good. I like that they took the ACOG away from Doc. He only has a 1.5 scope now. Rook still has a 2.5 scope. So he's still a nuisance, but bringing it down to 1 defender, I think is good. And a lot of people will hate saying that because, they should have ACOGs. I'm like, no, the defenders have the advantage every map, every round still.
Yeah.
And that's an issue, especially for runouts, which we'll get to later. But as far as the sites, I think they did a good job. They look great, and not. I think Dokkaebi has one of the new ones, but Malusi didn't get any, so they don't affect me at all right now.
Yeah, for me, my operators got them, but I don't really use them. Just I like either reflex or holographic. I don't use the new 1.5 or 2.5s. But I've seen your guys' play when y'all use operators, and it's definitely made a difference.
Oh yeah, for sure. I use, because with Dokkaebi I use the DMR, and that new scope it's a lot thinner, so you get more field of view when you're scoped in. And even though when I'm rushing I use it as basically my secondary because I'm using the submachine gun as my primary, which Bliss hates.
It hates, but I hate it, but it fucking works.
It works. It shouldn't.
It should not work. It should not work whatsoever. Like, I've tried. I can use almost every operator in any instance and do fairly well, except for shield operators.
Right.
But that fucking gun, like, For me, it's like holding a minigun and trying to shoot a target 1,000 yards away, and I'm just spraying everywhere. Whereas you grab it, you fire one round 1,000 yards away, and it's going to pop the fucker in the head. I mean, it's just ridiculous the amount of control you've got on that gun, and the kills you get with it are amazing yet infuriating in the same
Right. No, I enjoy it a lot. I think but I understand what you mean by infuriating and feeling happy, because that's me with his frost placements. You shouldn't be able to get a frost trap in the middle of a fucking staircase, but I understand you're not looking for it there. But man, I'm like, yay, we won, you piece of shit. It's just
I
like
feel like that
Geppetto
makes
with his
me
pistols.
enjoy it better when it kind of makes y'all mad.
Right? That's why I enjoy getting those kills with Dokkaebi so much, because I know Bliss is just like this son of a
Right.
But see, that's the thing, man. It's like you take that DMR as a primary. I mean, that's fucking crucial. 2 taps, somebody's dead, 100%. And that secondary, I mean, it's. I don't mind that you use it because you stack kills, 100%.
Right.
If in the sense like with Geppetto, like he would put that primary away, pull out the pistol. It's a 50-50 shot he's going to win that battle.
Right.
Because a pistol versus somebody who's coming in with a drum mag on their assault rifle, I mean, he gets lucky sometimes, and there's a lot of skill to it, but I mean, I just don't like the ratio on that. But I mean, with your weapons, you've gotten it to a T to where either way you're deadly, irregardless, no matter the gunfight. So it works out. It's just infuriating.
It happened last night on Consulate. It got down to you and I against 2, and I went for the rush, and I had the sub out. I dropped Ella, and as I rushed in, Jaeger and I were in a fight. I ran out of bullets, and I switched to the DMR as basically a side piece and finished the job on him there, which was really, like, you don't see that very often, you know?
So ass backwards, but it
worked. It worked out well. That'll lead into this next little bit, and we'll still cover all the updates and stuff of this season, but I like going with the flow. And the reason why that ended up like 2-on-2, Dalton got peaked. And it's like a lot of people I know ask like questions, and they try to like type into the servers of we need to eliminate spawn peaks. Spawn peaks are fine. It's runouts that I hate.
Yep, agreed.
Like a spawn peak, like when Bliss hits Consulate and he goes upstairs and that round starts, 3-4 seconds go by and then it pops up in that top right, Bliss killed so and so. I'm like, should have paid attention, should have looked for that window.
Yeah.
But when
sorry to cut you off. No, I'm 100% with you, because spawn peaks while you're inside the building, 100%, because if you're spawning in a known area that's going to be exposed to open windows and shit, don't spawn there. Right. I mean, you can combat that 100%. You spawn there, you're at your own risk. But go ahead.
Yeah, the thing that bothers me is when somebody runs out and they make it halfway to me before it tells me I'm dead, before it tells me somebody's even outside. Yeah. I don't like that's not fun to me. I understand a lot of people fight for it. It's like, well, the defenders can rush out. To me, if the defender passes that threshold, it should immediately pop up.
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
That's how it is to me. You're supposed to be defending. You're not supposed to be attacking. At that point you're attacking, and it throws the whole situation off. This game is the lore of the game is it's a training exercise for the operators. You're an attacker, you're a defender, you're training, and it just throws it off for me. It needs to say right away, enemy outside.
Either that, or as soon as let's reverse it. As soon as the attackers who are outside, they're not identifiable, right? They shoot all the cams out. As soon as they step foot in the building, it gives a ping to let you know they're in.
No, I don't like that either.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna tell you what.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you why I don't like that. Defenders have things to tell you. They have alibis. Right. They have Valkyries now that we have 0. But I'm just saying they have the alibis that if I shoot an alibi, you know where I am. Granted, we have Jackal, but how often is Jackal fucking?
Yeah, but the second you throw an alibi outside, it's automatically identified.
Right. Automatically. I'm just saying,
yeah.
You throw an alibi anywhere in that map, if I shoot it, you know where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't know when I'm inside. You'll hear the window break as soon as I'm inside. You'll hear the doors break. You know, you have up to like 9 cameras at a time. It's just like with defense, you have Maestro, you have Echo, you have Valkyrie, you have cameras. You have people who have bulletproof cameras with like Jaeger. It's like you have more things. Whereas on attack, if you rush out, and it's like, cool, I like last night I got shot while I was inside from somebody who jumped outside and it never said they were outside.
Right.
You know?
And
So that's
kind of adding too on what Bliss was saying about the whole and you too about the detection of attackers on the inside. One thing I thought about that would be interesting if they did it would be like, for example, for like my frost mats. Say I have one in master bedroom, for example. When it snaps, it will say frost mat master bedroom.
yeah, well that would give the advantage to defenders. And
Right.
they already have such a big advantage. That's one of the things I think they're actually been trying to work on, because with Legion, when you tossed a goo, Legion used to be able to see the goo marker through walls. Like I would see him all over the map when I was using him. I was like, all right, that was on the stairs. It went away. I heard it, and then I don't see it anymore. And it ended up being almost somewhat game breaking to where you knew exactly where that was. You know where they were coming from. So I think they're trying to get away from gadgets telling people.
Okay.
With your frost mats, to me, with your frost mats at least, because I haven't had the issue like Bliss is having. For me, when the frost mat goes off, I know exactly where it is because of my audio. Bliss's audio has been messed up since this rollout, and he's like, there's someone coming from the right, he hears them on the left.
Oh yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I mean, just as simple as the drone phase, I will hear gunshots, reinforcements going up upstairs, and it's in the fucking basement. Yep. Don't get it. I've messed with audio settings. I've done everything I can. Can't fix it.
It's a bug that I guess that a lot of people have had. Like, a lot of people either have the bug or they don't, and so it's just something they got to fix with a patch that should be coming soon, I'm sure.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, we've harped on the defenders coming outside without the identification for that first few seconds. We've harped on that for months now. Yeah. And it's such a simple thing to fix.
Yeah, I don't know why the devs don't see it as a problem.
Well, you want to know why? It's because they look at Pro League players, they look at YouTubers, and they take that influence from those guys and whatever feedback they provide, and that's it.
Pro League players and PC players are the only ones that get like a say in things, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They don't really care about the console players as much. Yeah. And I think that sucks. Something else that was brought up that I read is why isn't there, like, there's a huge, well, I'm blanking on the word, but the player base, there's a huge player base for Siege. It's one of the biggest games out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you take a look at, like, they're doing the qualifying now on YouTube and stuff, and the views aren't nearly as high as what the community is. That's because not everybody plays PC. Like, for me, I watch it and I'm like, it's pretty fun to watch, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't play that style. It's a whole different style of play. Why don't they have a competitive console league? If they came out like with a little update that says, hey, competitive or a tournament coming up for Xbox One, sign your team up, dude, I guarantee we'd find 2 people within a week. I'd do my best and I would enter that thing. Would we win? No. Oh, no, but I'd want to be in it.
It'd be fun. Honestly, just the experience of doing it would be fun.
And not just that, but I would also watch it because I'd be like, all right, these are people that I might end up playing. Like,
see, years ago with Siege, we actually did tournaments through the system game battles. You never heard of that. So pretty much you would set up custom maps. You invited the opposing team, right? A 5-man squad, and you go on game battles. Each individual player would have to have an account, be verified, the whole 9, and you would go in there and you would record. Both team leaders from each team would record, hey, we lost this round, we lost that round. The validity of results and actual accuracy of gameplay was fucking so far down. You know,
Right.
you want a match, you shut somebody out 4-0, they would dispute it. And if they had enough influence, you know, if they knew some of the moderators, even though you're 4-0 and you had a screenshot, you would lose that match.
That sucks.
It was so stupid, man. And I'm sure they still do it 100%. If you go on GameBattles.com, I guarantee they still do it. But for them not implementing something for us console players, just even like, hey, one weekend, tournament weekend for, you know, your standard, not YouTubers, not pro leagues, you know, hey, you guys come in first, second, third, we'll give you a renown booster for a month or
Yeah.
something. Just
I don't even need a
something
cash
small.
prize.
Yeah.
Give me some renown, give me a boost, something like that. Or maybe a unique skin for a certain operator. Like, that would be
something
awesome.
cosmetic, yeah. But it's, again, like you're saying, they cater more to PC players and pro leagues and YouTubes and all the influencers, because I play a lot of PC games, and whenever I provide feedback to developers, I actually get responses from
Right.
developers on PC. I do that over on console. No,
Not a chance.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Because they're catering, in my opinion, to it. They're catering to, like, Call of Duty, that franchise. This is a game. You don't like it, don't fucking play it. We're not losing money on you. You already spent the $60.
Right.
You know.
Speaking of like PC console stuff, I'm gonna bring something up that's it's always been a problem, but I think since this season started, it's been a huge problem, and that's flat out cheaters. Now, you don't get many cheaters on console, but the cheaters that you get are the ones that are finding a way to reroute their mouse and keyboard to be recognized as a controller, and it's breaking the game. They're destroying people. And it has to. They got to find a way to stop
Dude,
that.
I looked last night. We played a match last night, and we lost the match, right? And all the guys, except for 1 or 2, were not ranked, right? The 3 that were ranked were all coppers, right? They fucking spanked us because mouse and keyboard. And now, how can we prove that? Well, for instance, as you said last night, Malusi's, whenever you run into a Malusi, right, it degrades your mobility at least, let's say, by 50%, right?
Yeah.
You walk slow, you can't turn corners, your ability to fight is degraded by half.
Oh, yeah.
So let's say these individuals turn their sensitivity up to 100%, they're running mouse and keyboard. They're at 100% when we're fighting them in that Malusi. You experienced that 100 times last night. I would say
it doesn't affect them.
It's ridiculous.
It completely nullifies the Banshee. Malusi's gadget is just worthless against anybody using mouse and keyboard. And it sucks, you know. And if you're using controller and you turn your sensitivity up, that's fine. You're weird to me. I don't know how you can do it. I would have a fucking stroke doing that. But I can see the difference. You know, if you're holding your toggle with your sensitivity, you're going around. But when you do it and it just stops, that's not a toggle. That's a mouse, because you can just stop. And it sucks, man. Like, it makes the game you don't want to play it.
Yeah, and God forbid you actually go report them for cheating. What's the likelihood of them actually being banned?
We'll talk about reporting people for cheating. That's what you want to do?
I'm just saying. But no, look at the effective. Look how effective it could be. You know, if you report somebody for cheating using mouse and keyboard, okay, that's one of their accounts.
Right. They have 4 more.
Yeah.
The
all
Smurf
these
issue in
Smurf
Siege
accounts. Yeah.
is bigger than any other game. It sucks.
Yeah.
This is by far, I'm sorry to cut you off, Dalton, but this is by far one of the games that I love so much, but I hate it because people who cheat use mouse keyboard, and just all the aspects to it, man. It's like every other game I play, I don't get so stressed out. And literally, it's what can you do about it? There's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Not at all.
And adding on to that too, like talking about like how they cater to PC players. Like when you were like report someone that says you reported so and so will be reviewed or whatever. It's kind of like, will it really?
Right.
It's like, are y'all just throwing ours to the junk
Bro, I
mail?
would take that job in a heartbeat. Let me see somebody with a mouse and keyboard that's snapping like that. Banned. All
We've
day.
reported hundreds of people, Bliss and I, and it's gotten like I've gotten, I'd say maybe a dozen messages of people that have been banned, and you take 300 reports and you take 12 that have been banned. Great, that's 12 profiles, not people, because I have another profile. That's 12 profiles off the game, but it's like there's some that I know that it was like just the other night, you two both got peeled back by people that should have no reason of knowing you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no drones, no sense of identifying where we were, and just magically, boom, dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just this update, like you said, it has escalated so much to where it's like every other match, you're like, what the fuck?
Right.
What can you do?
Now there is that new ping system, which could lead to you dying without having any clue that you died or how they saw you, because you don't, if you get pinged instead of tagged, you don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
But how often are one of the three of us sitting in one area long enough for a ping to stay? We're usually moving throughout that entire objective.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I have written down that I was curious about, kind of leading towards more next gen, possibly, because for the next gen consoles, if you already own Siege, you don't have to buy it again. You're going to get it for free for the next gen, which I think is a great move by Ubisoft.
Oh yeah.
But would you think would you be interested in them doing a cross-platform playing? Now, with that being said, you can pick. So, like, say I want to play with PS4 players, I can pick, yes, I'll cross-platform with PS4. And if you want to play with computer players, you can, PC. But you can turn that off. I would love to play with people on PS4. I think that'd be interesting.
Let me ask you this. They iterated that in Call of Duty.
Yeah, but that they didn't, like I just said, they didn't do that. When you turn cross-platform on Call of Duty, it's open, PC and PS4.
Yeah. Having the ability to turn it on or off, that's great. Do I think it's going to be detrimental to our gameplay? I mean, we're already experiencing as if we're playing PC players right now.
Right.
So
I'm sure those people are over on PS4 also. But I have a handful of friends that play on PS4 that I don't get to play with this game because I'm not going to buy it again on PS4.
Yeah. No, I think it's awesome for that concept. Having the ability to play with other people that you can't do to systems. But I mean, at this point in the game, it's definitely something that should be available.
Okay. What about you, Auburn? What do you think about it?
I like the idea of it, especially if you can toggle between, playing with PS4, just PS4 people, or playing with PS4 and PC people. And especially for the fact, because I have friends too that are on PS4, that some even play 6 Siege. I'm like, if I'm not playing with y'all, I'm like, oh, it'd be kind of fun. Maybe if they're on, I could hop on with them and get some practice in. And, especially too, it's some people I don't talk to often. And they'll catching up with them, getting to play the game, chilling with them. So for that aspect, I liked it. But the PC players, I think, would, if it wasn't like you said, where you could toggle it, it would become out of hand.
Yeah, if they just straight opened it and it said cross-platform without specifying, I'd have it off all the time because I wouldn't risk going against PC. It's just and it sounds weird to say this about video game, but it is just straight up unfair to go console against PC. PC's frames are higher and mouse and keyboard is just flat out better.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of cross-platform and just the issues we've had, one of the things I think, and this hasn't just been this season, but Ubisoft needs to work on their matchmaking in general. Ranked for sure. Casual, I understand. We're silver players basically, and we get stuck against platinums every now and then. It's like, I understand that it's casual, anybody can join in, and smurfing's a big issue. But when you're ranked, and it's like, all right, we're a low silver, but we're going against like high golds, and it's like, come on, man. Like, that's not going to help us out in any way. Do you get better by playing better people? Sometimes, yeah, but in a game like Siege, no, you're going to get
The
whooped.
only way I could see that implementation for matchmaking actually working as it currently is, what you're talking about, is let's say a silver team goes up against golds. Silver team wins, you get bonus renown, you get bonus rank up, you get bonuses for beating a team that is higher tiered than you.
Right.
I would understand it 100% at that point. But when we're in there, silvers, and we're playing against 3 golds, a silver, and a platinum, what the fuck is the point? You know they're going to spank the hell out of us. We're not learning anything. All we're learning really to do is get our asses kicked.
Right.
Because we, hands down, we're a great team. And if we had another 2 players, we'd be solid. Do I think we're going to be platinum players? Not at all. We have our good nights. We have our bad nights. We're not the best players in this game, but 100% we're dedicated.
Right.
Love the game. And we play very well. But when you take those aspects of higher tiered players, mouse and keyboard, sensitivity up to 100 to where I'm about to have a seizure just watching you play, it gets frustrating right there, and they definitely need to do something about it. But again, do I see them doing it? Not at all.
No.
They've had ample amount of time with this game to correct these issues, the small issues, and they never do.
Right. Yeah. It's just a wish list at this point for something like that,
Pretty much. Put it on the Christmas list.
Yeah. Shit. One of the cool things I think came out with this season, and it's probably one of the things this is one of the better things they've done in the past few seasons, and that's the rework on Chalet. This is a great rework. The Chalet in general wasn't a bad map. Now it's just even better, I think.
Yeah.
They released the rework of House last season. Garbage. I hate it.
Yeah.
The rework of Canal, it took me a while to get to it, but now I like it. But Chalet's a great map now.
Yes, that definitely makes it more enjoyable when you are playing it, and like when you see it pop up for your next map, you're like, okay, let's get it.
Yeah, definitely compared to House. Like when they came out with that House rework, man, we would see that next on the playlist. We were like, yeah, fuck this, back out.
Yeah, we're out.
Because it's just, oh man. But no, the rework they did this one on Chalet was perfect. The next rework I would love to see would be Bank.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a Bank rework. I love the map as it is. The only thing I think they need to do 100% like tomorrow is they need to find a way to block those spawn points, because that's the worst map for spawn kills on runouts. Every single spawn point you could die as soon as you spawn, and that sucks.
Yeah,
but I would love to see a rework on that for sure. I think it'd be interesting. We play it differently than we used to. Especially Bliss and I used to just go in that parking garage and snipe for a good 2 minutes. But now that we're sticking with who we main the most, we play differently, and scary enough, I'd say we play better.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. And going back to the rework, like you just said, I mean, as far as spawn points, Chalet prior to this rework, just as bad as Bank in my opinion as far as getting peaked. But now they actually realize that, and those peaks are far gone.
Oh yeah, there's no spawn peaks in Chalet now.
Yeah, not at all. Maybe that master bedroom window could be seen as a spawn peak, but not once have I seen somebody try to peek there.
Right, and even if they're there, you have plenty of time to decide which direction you're going to run, and if you want to pizza that rock or whatever, and peel somebody back. Because there's been plenty of times, especially on Consulate now, where Bliss and I, they want to spawn peek, but Bliss and I said, nah, we know where they're going to spawn peek from. I get so many kills now on attack because I know they're going to be trying to spawn peek, and I'll just pizza right around that corner. Nope.
And for those of you who don't know, pizza around that corner, it's a coin term by Auburn here. I was trying to instruct him on how to pie a corner to slowly take your time and actually engage targets before they even see you. And Auburn with those words, man, he's trying to pizza that corner.
Well, we tried pizza
we
in
need-
the corner, and we were like, pizza? You mean pie?
We need
Pie the
a
corner.
Ice Team dictionary of all our mixed up words.
No, we just need a book of like shit Team Ice has said, like, and then just we gotta record. Man, our mouths don't work during game. I'm surprised we can get it through a podcast usually, but
Right?
even that we've been struggling with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on the window thing too with the peaks, with me always having an LMG, just unloading a clip and even sometimes getting kills where they're trying to peek back to it, and I'm just nonstop just letting that LMG flow on them.
I'm gonna call out those dummies, and it's gonna suck to call those dummies out because Geppetto was one of them. He didn't do it as much anymore, but if you're peeking a corner and you get shot at and you're still getting shot at, don't peek it again. You're gonna die.
Right?
And it happens all the time.
Oh yeah.
Bliss gets kills, you get kills. I use the DMR so it doesn't happen as often for me because I gotta keep going. But like if you're just unloading on a window and they keep peeking, then boom, and then they're like, how do you get me? Well, because you kept looking at an LMG.
Right.
Like
fucking idiots, yeah.
it happens a lot. And I'm like, you guys are idiots for real.
Right.
It's like you peek me from a window, good on you. But when I got an 80 round drum mag and I'm dumping into that window, and like you said, you want to peek me 6 times, one of these rounds is going to hit you. And when it does, don't send me a message saying, oh, cheater, hacker, whatever. No, you're just a dumbass.
Exactly.
You cheater hacker. I love it. One of the reworks that a lot of people haven't noticed for this update, they reworked the actual bomb itself. So if you're playing bomb, you can no longer lay down and get those little pixel peaks. That's been solid off. The yellow borders around the side are thicker and more squared off. Next time we play, look at it and you'll notice they've completely
I did not
it.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to be able to peek within the bomb and use it as a shield. And I actually 100%, I'm a culprit of this because I've tried to still do it. And I noticed, I was like, holy shit, they blocked this off. But for the benefit, you can still stand behind the bomb, cant yourself 45 degrees to left or right, and it still gives you an enormous amount of protection.
And now you have more coverage, actually. I've actually killed people from attack through the bomb. I've seen them peeking, and I've been able to get the kill. Whereas now it's like, all right, now it's almost like another shield. So I like that they redid it. And I just recognized it probably last night. I was like, all right, that's different.
Yeah.
We brought up Thatcher earlier about like how he can be key and how he's actually what a lot of people have said he's been nerfed because his gadget no longer destroys other gadget, it just disables them. I think it's a buff because it is 90% harder now to bandit trick a wall, because even if you pick up that bandit charge, if you put it back down, it's still disabled until that time runs out. Yeah. So now I toss a Thatcher at a wall. If I'm using him, Thermite has plenty of time to bust that wall open.
Oh, yeah.
Ace and Habana might have less time, but I think it gives Thatcher a buff kind of because he's back in the running. You're going to see him played a lot more.
Well, you're going to see him played a lot more, but still banned a lot more. And sadly enough, for all you Siege players out there, stop basing your strategies and your bans off of pro players and YouTubers. It makes absolutely no sense for console players on Xbox One to ban exactly what the pro players are using, because it actually shows in your gameplay once you ban somebody like Thatcher and then you get pissed because you can't get somewhere. There it is.
I have that written down for something I wanted to cover because
fair enough.
Mainly because after watching like the Pro League this past week, my nose itched like crazy. Sorry, guys. You watch some of the bans they have. They don't ban Jackal. They don't ban Echo. Why are you still doing? Those two are always banned. And I'm like, Jackal, I kind of understand he could be a nuisance, but how many times, Bliss, have you and I used Jackal knowing where we are to kill him?
Yeah,
same with like Lion.
It's so simple. It's so simple. If you're roaming, right, and you're scared of a Jackal, okay, roam his ass into an objective, and lure him there. He's dead.
Yep.
It's simple as that. Yeah, it's giving an active ping of where you are, but you know he's coming. You have the advantage. You know he's coming and from what direction he is coming. So
Exactly.
the Jackal bans I don't understand 100%. You know, the bans I do understand are the ones we do. Finca. That's detrimental.
Big
That
head.
extra fucking health boost. You know, who else do we ban?
No,
Doc.
we banned Doc
No.
kind of more of as a I don't want to deal with him.
Yeah.
I would say like the smart ones we like to get rid of are like Finca, and then on something like Border we get rid of Pulse. He can blow through that every level's wood. So it's like that's a smart ban, and Nomad is a smart ban. You don't want to deal with those things.
People need to. You're on the right track because people need a ban per map, not what pro people do. Ban how the map is being played. If you know, like you said on Border, Pulse is a fucking issue because of all the wood. Ban Pulse.
Same with Fuse. Fuse is a
Exactly.
big ban for us on Border.
Yep.
I mean, it's just if people played more strategically, like the game was made for, they would increase their ability to win. In my opinion, we've changed our play style, and like you said in the past 2 weeks, our win percentage through the roof.
Yep.
Just climbing.
Like, think about this new Chalet rework, and think about how I am with Malusi when we're defending Garage now. If they ban Malusi, I can't pull that strat off, and that opens an entire hallway up.
Oh yeah.
Without trying, like, God forbid somebody sees us and plays against us. That's why I'm not going to give away what that strat is. But you saw it last night firsthand. What I do with the Banshees and where I sit, and it's like you almost can't attack
that entire corridor is locked down.
Yeah, it's done. You can't
even
through.
If you kill him as the individual player, we know how to operate that corridor.
Yep.
So it's ban that operator, then boom, you have another a whole
You have
different
a whole
avenue
section of the map. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to ban smarter. And Malusi is one of the higher banned operators right now, and that's because she's very, very good. But at the same time, I feel like she's kind of underrated. It's like it kind of took a little convincing for Bliss. Definitely, wait, be a little patient, wait for those Banshees because it's going to tell you that they're coming. And when it tells you, they don't have as much of you have an advantage now.
It took me such a long time to get used to it.
I would hear it go off, and then it would stop because they'd be like, "Oh crap," and then you'd run out after them. I'm like, "Dude, don't!" And then you die. I'm like, "Bro, give them a second. They got to come back. They can't blow that thing up unless they have an Ash or they melee it. Ash, Zofia, and melee is the only thing to take them out."
And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things I've noticed with those Banshees is they not even just the ability of what they do, but they are such a big deterrent on how attackers come at you. If they notice there's a Banshee there, most of the times, like 9 out of 10 I've seen, maybe one player will fight that, but the whole team will then shift their strat and try to attack another way, and lo and behold, there's another Banshee there.
Yep.
So she is 100% crucial, and like you said, it took me a while to get used to her, but now that I am, I cannot imagine you not playing her or having or her getting banned. I mean, she's that detrimental. I mean, it's just
for sure. And I think a lot of like when I play against. Sorry to cut you off, Dalton. I know you're about to say something.
You good?
I know when we play against teams that use her, all Banshees are placed like legit inside objective. Now we're big on saying play objective, but for me, the Banshees need to be placed right outside objective.
Yeah.
And I know that kind of bugs Bliss because it's like, I want to close that door so bad, but I'm like, bro, don't worry. I got that door. I'm peeking it.
I've had to get used to that too because I love shut doors because for me, it lets me know where the enemy's coming from.
Right.
And I'm slowly getting to that transition to where the Malusi's there. That's my identifier.
Right. Exactly, because here's your door, and you hear that smack. So you know they're right here, right?
Right.
You know, okay, somebody's right in this area. If this is open, the Malusi's here, you know that they're right around here. it widens your time.
Oh yeah.
You know, you hear that Banshee going off, you're like, all right, somebody's really close. So
Right.
that's why I like it so much.
And not even, and one thing we haven't touched on, the proximity alarms.
Right? That came out 2 seasons ago, actually. And those are awesome.
2 seasons ago, when they came out, I didn't like them. I was not about it, not whatsoever. But now, in conjunction with the Banshees, you know, and the Frost Traps, the Jaegers, everything we have, those freaking alarms are just as crucial, in my opinion, as every other gadget we do use in defense, because it's just another means of saying, hey, somebody's right there. You know, and 90% of the time, they're so small, they don't even know where it's at.
And you can toss those, and I've noticed this on certain maps, you can toss them into, like, plants or something, and they just disappear. So you're not going to find that. You're just going to set it off while you're walking, which makes me realize, how is IQ not picked more? You know what I mean? She should be picked almost every round right now with the amount of gadgets defenders have.
Yeah, you would think, but the only time when I do see IQ played, it's run and gun Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Speed. That's the only thing. You never see anybody literally with the pistol out and the gadget flipped up taking out fucking gadgets. I mean, literally, most of the maps we're on have wood floor base. And if we're on a second floor, IQ could go out, have a field day on gadgets.
Yep.
You know? And especially
100%.
with the new identifier, the new ping system, she can ping through a floor while on that gadget.
Yep.
So you're 100% correct. But I'm not dropping my main for her.
No. And I'm not allowed, apparently. Gosh, no. God forbid I try anybody right now. I tried Zero for the first 2 days, and I got yelled at.
Yeah, someone's going to see this and then go play 6 Siege and see Ice come up and they'll be like, Bam Lucy, Bam Lucy, Bam Lucy.
Right? I know.
They got strats for this.
If that happens, please, number one thing, if you are watching this, the person you need to message, party invite, talk shit to, kill is Merc. Right there.
Yep.
Host of the show. This guy gets so much shit. I can literally walk up, kill a teammate, right? The teammate next round will spawn, we'll kill him. Will not mess with me. We'll kill him.
Yeah. Also, if you get put on our team one day, just automatically kill him.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen. You don't have to tell them.
And report him to cheating, by the way. All the time.
Oh, my God. I honestly, though, the amount of wall bangs I've had lately just trying to open holes, I'm sure I've been reported.
That's why I reported you last night.
But I knew somebody was there. You just died from there, so I just started shooting the wall.
I know, it was just so tragic how many wall bangs it's ridiculous.
It is. And that DMR is awesome, bro.
I get some wall bangs, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm getting reported.
Right.
But you are just off the wall, just like, well, by my calculation, he should be 10 feet over to the left. You know?
The one that like I just recently had was on Hereford, and then, you know, that window that you can't get through unless you're Amaru.
Right.
They were defending that kitchen area, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna shoot. I shot the window open. I was like, all right, they didn't reinforce that wall. Let me bust some holes in it so I can see into it. I just started unloading it. It went, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm getting reported. Like, I'm as shocked as they are when they die. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Trying to look back on like this list. I went off on making this. We know the match replay's coming soon. I don't know if you know anything about that, Auburn, which is actually there. It's still in the test server. I think that's going to be awesome. So basically, if you watch any of the pro leagues go, the people that control it, you follow anyone you want. I keep hitting my damn mic. You follow who you want. You know, you see both sides. You see attack, you see defense. You got an overhead view. So a match replay, say we finish a match and we're like, how did we lose that? What went wrong? We can all watch that match replay.
Yeah.
And see from beginning to end, round to round, what did I do wrong that I died there? Like, I always do that and I always do well. How did I? And then you can start seeing, it's like, never thought of that. Now I'm going to do that on attack. Like,
okay, yeah, that's a good learning opportunity.
Awesome, I think.
Yeah. You got the overview. You can switch to every operator, as far as attack and defense and see physically how those individuals play. You can look at yourself and say, why am I being peaked so many times? Why am I dying from this? And then you could just learn from it, man. I can't wait for it. That way I can learn, hey, don't maneuver this way, don't do that, don't do this. It's going to be crucial for our team, I think.
Yeah.
The only thing Bliss is going to use it for is to see why one of us wasn't covering him and he died.
I saw that
like last night.
And I knew that was coming.
Dude, I blame you 100%, Auburn. You should have had the Orcs ran out, shook your hand, and then shot Bliss. You were just like, "What's up, dude? What's going on?"
On the window that Bliss was shooting through,
dude,
though.
Legit. I run up, I hook up on that rappel, and I hear Auburn. He's like, "Hey, I'm right below you," and I'm like, "Okay, all right, just watch my back." Legit. 3 seconds on that fucking rappel. Window pops. I'm shooting at the guy. He looks up, gives me a wink, kills me, looks at Auburn, and is like, "Thanks, man."
He was standing right
I
next to you.
was watching your back, not your front.
But he was standing literally in your field of view.
Yeah, by the time I saw him,
you could have got COVID from him. He was that close.
By the time I saw him, you were already
dead. That was awesome. But yeah, I can't even, like, it was just, that was bad, dude.
But I will tell you, 99% of the time, I am off doing some stupid shit on my own. I will sit there, instinctively, I'll sit there and say, well, I'm fucking dead, or where were you?
We're like,
100%.
That's on you, bro.
It's just out of
5 rooms away.
It's not a personal attack. I'm just infuriated that some bitch got me.
Right. Oh. Well, with that, like, being able to learn from that and how crucial that's going to be, the only training thing they have there for the game is the terrorist hunt. Do you think the game would benefit from an actual training mode? Like, say the 3 of us go in, we set up the training mode. We're defending against, we have 3. We're defending against 5 attacking. Let's go. And we could pick the attackers that are attacking us.
It would.
Yeah,
because
I like that a lot.
In my opinion, if you could put on a terrorist hunt, number one, the glitchiest mode in this entire game.
So bad.
There's a reason I don't play it. But if you can put 40 fucking terrorists on a single person going in lone wolf, right? 100%, you could put the 3 of us on a training mode map and have 5 attackers attack us, even if they're AI bots. They may, and you can adjust the settings to where they're, recruits or pro player, whatever the settings will be, to improve their accuracy in the play style and how they use gadgets. Do I think we would benefit from that? 100%. Do I think they should do it?
Big time.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I think it'd be great.
Especially on the near fact that they consider this to be a 10-year game. They've come out publicly and said that.
Yep. They expect to end with 100 total operators.
You need to bring those aspects into the game, in my opinion.
One of the things that they have for PC that we don't get, and that's before every season, is the test servers. They usually get 2 to 3, I think now 4 weeks, where they test out what's coming up. They test out the new operator, the new gadgets, the new rework, all that. Console plays different than PC. Do you think we would benefit from if console players could sign up for a test server?
No.
Really? You don't think we should get a test server?
No, because I think the player base on console is too toxic enough to put forth any reliable information that would affect gameplay. We may come out and say, 1,000 people may say, hey, you need to cut out the runouts for defenders, making it an immediate response once defenders come out, yet you'll have 10,000 10-year-olds on that test server say, no, we don't, we enjoy that, we like it. On PC, in my opinion, you have a lot, you have Steam. You look at a lot of the different players that are posting reviews and such, and are in discussions with developers. They're all grown-ass men. They're putting forth valid points. Now, i.e., they may not be as valid as we would like them, but do I think console players should have that ability? Not at all.
Okay. What about you, Auburn?
Honestly, I wasn't thinking of it that way until Bliss said it, and his argument honestly pulled me to the same opinion. I agree with that. Just because of the validity, or like the actual, what's the word I'm thinking of? I blanked a little bit there, but just like you said, like the actual grown people giving valid points versus 10-year-olds. Mom, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not necessarily pointed at 10-year-olds. It could be 18, 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at console players, man. It's you're in that lower bracket. You look at PC players, guys who have $2,000-$3,000, you know, in their system. They're putting valid points out there.
Well, what if they make it a sign up kind of deal? Like,
Well,
find some way to where you have to sign up. I don't know. Maybe your Ubisoft account, and a lot of those younger kids don't have a Ubisoft account.
well,
So they
sadly
just have
enough, a lot of these younger kids shouldn't even own the game either.
It's true. All right.
I
think we'd benefit personally. I understand what you're saying.
Argue that.
I understand what you're saying, but I think the difference in some of the things that when they release any new season, you know who they're releasing for. They're releasing for PC pro players. That's why certain people get those nerfs, like Goyo losing a extra shield 2 years ago, and it's like, why? Because pro players didn't like him having 3 shields. If they don't like Melusi having 3 of her banshees, she's going to lose one, and that's going to screw me over.
So you're just arguing the concept more or less that us as console players should have a little more insight and say as to what happens.
100%.
See, I'll agree with that concept 100%. I do think we need to have more of a voice because we purely played on console. But in the same sense, it's how are you going to implement that, as far as like verification purposes, what's your age, your DOB, and, it's just, I don't see it happening. Do I think it should? Yeah, it should, but I see too much negative coming from it.
All right. That's fair.
But I feel you.
I think we pretty much covered everything that's come out in the new season. Do you guys know of anything I might have missed?
No, I can't think of anything.
I know we got the Tachanka rework coming up, which is pretty cool with his elite skin.
How do you think that's going to play out?
Oh, he's going to be OP. If you see him every map for the first week, every map, every round, you'll see him. Then he's going to fall off. People are going to stop playing him.
Do you think he'll be utilized as a roamer or an anchor?
A roamer, 100%. He's going to be a slow roamer, but he's going to be a roamer. And I think, honestly, it's a good idea. Because think about this. Take a map like, I'm going to say Consulate. And say you're going in and you're planting on Kitchen. Well, he takes his now mounted weapon that he runs with instead, opens a hole and lobs a freaking fire grenade in there while you're trying to plant. You're not getting that plant.
But that's an anchor.
No, I'm talking about from above.
Okay.
If he's in train, a room above you, or even on the hatch.
Right. Right. Fair enough. I mean, I would definitely, if we were to utilize him, I would love to see him anchor. Because if you're that last guy with 2-3 attackers left, fire grenade entry points.
Yeah.
Buys you time.
It buys you a lot of time. Because as a roamer, if you're upstairs and they plant, you're screwed. You're not getting there in time. Even if everyone's dead, it's going to take you forever to get there, and then you got to search for it. And
not to mention how loud you are running.
Right. It's going to be, like I said, you're going to see him for the first week, every map. Then I don't think you're going to see him as much at all. We'll all probably try him once or twice, but then it's going to be like, meh. We'll stick with my Melusis.
Right.
Like, the good thing that he will be for is, say, Chalet, and they bust that garage door open. You know where they're sitting. They're all out there waiting. Thump a couple things out there. They're going to have to wait longer or they're going to burn. You know what I mean? That's going to be pretty crucial. But I think he's going to become extremely situational.
Yeah.
Now, his elite skin looks dope, though.
One thing we haven't touched on yet, and I would like to get into it a little more, and you obviously know a little more about it, the new defending operator. Let's talk about that.
So that's all, you've seen the leaks about it, and by you, I mean just people in general. The same thing came out same time during Zero's leaks. At the time, he was called Scout. So I don't know what this new defender is going to be called. but her ability is to place it's like a laser. So you can place it over a wall, a door frame, reinforcement, and what it does is shoots a laser grid. And if you go through that, I'm pretty sure it's a DBNO. You're down but not out. Kind of like a cap can. The thing is, it's almost on like a timer, so it's going to be on for a while, and then it has to cool down. That balances her to give attackers still a chance. Then it's going to be on again. I think.
How many of those gadgets is she going to have? I'm sorry.
Who knows? Right now, it looks like 2. That's all I've seen.
That's fucking crucial.
I almost think it's not going to be a big deal.
Well, let me ask you this: how bright? Remember how bright cat cans?
That's how bright it is, and it's a grid of them. You can see them 100%.
How they used to be, or how they are currently?
How they used to be.
Oh yeah, that's.
So I mean, to me, it's like, okay, I see that. I'm gonna if I see that coming in, I know one of you is on the other side. I'm like, hey, pop that for me. Or I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, the only time it's
the only time it's gonna be beneficial is if time's running out and you have to try and get in, and now you have to wait. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I like her or not. The concept sounds kind of cool, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think she's going to be as good as because we've been spoiled this past release with Malusi. She's one of the best defensive operators released in many. Yeah. So, before that, we had Oryx, who's.
Could it be crucial for certain? Let's take a look at. You look at Coastline, and with the new operator, I could see. Let's say we're defending master bedroom. You put that grid on that bathroom. That's a possibility. Right, to prevent that entry point. The question is, what is Thatcher going to do to that? Is it going to disable it, destroy it? If so,
he can't destroy anything anymore, so it will be a disable.
Right. So I mean, yeah, it could be nice. Not a big fan of the whole future tech thing, to where, we look at this last update to where they had the that one playlist you could play and everybody could shift through cameras and everything. Now in my opinion, we're getting to the realm of not realistic, to where we have
Yana's drone, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a laser thing on the door that's going to down but not out you. I mean, that's kind of a little outside the realm right now. I mean, we've created different operators in our own minds and shared it, and we've come up with some amazing gadgets.
Right.
So
we never talked about that on podcast. If you want to talk about that also, some of the ideas we've had for operators. Before we do though, we still got a couple other things to cover, because one of the things I wanted you guys to do, and we talk about it almost every night, and let's talk about our favorite maps for your personal favorite map. Because for me, I have 2, but I want to start with Auburn.
Mine is Border. I just have the most fun playing Border, just especially attacking. Just how fast we get in and get a plant and then just bully people. Right. It's just so much fun. Yeah. Okay. And then even defending, y'all have your spots you go to that are just OP that no one has really figured out that's played us.
Right.
And then I can stay. I got a couple spots depending on where our bombs are located. Just maybe a spot that y'all don't have visual on, and it just works so much. It's just the most fun to me.
Border is one of the 2 that I have for my favorite.
What's your second?
What about you? Oh, my second one is hands down Coastline. My favorite map.
Okay. What about
attacking, defending?
If I paid the second, it'd be Coastline. Yeah.
See, I would definitely have to go with Consulate and Border.
So Border
Consulate
would probably
Consulate just for the simple fact I love shitting on peekers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love getting peeks on people on that map. It's amazing.
Consulate would be better if they reworked the up-down lobby.
Yeah.
I hate defending that.
That's so bad.
I don't even like attacking it, let alone defending it, but
yeah,
it's a good map. But, I mean, if we're talking about all-time favorite maps, mine's not even in any of the rotations, and that's Favela. That's one of the best maps there is. Defending it kind of sucks, especially if you have the drug room, but that map is so much fun.
My
And I
favorite
really wish.
plane. If they got a rework on plane, bro, to where it was maybe, let's not say just a 2-floor,
Instead of
maybe
like 4.
3, and then there's more entry points under the plane and such.
Right.
Oh my God, man, I would love that so much. But no, with regard to Border, man, we are freaking incredibly unstoppable.
Yeah, we get Border, and I just start smiling. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's a win. To me, it's a win.
You play Team
For
Ice
one-
on Border, and you're watching this, you're done.
Yeah, might as well leave the game.
Yeah.
For one, I can say this with confidence. For me, I don't know about you two. When it comes to defense on any map, we're not as good. We're an attacking team. So on Border, you won't win if we're defending. You're gonna lose.
Honestly, and attacking.
And then that's what I was getting to on attack. On attack, mainly with Border, but with just about anywhere, you're gonna lose because the 3 of us play objective. It's not like we Ash rush you. We don't come in with Ash and Zofia and just rush the crap out of you. How many times can we get in, the 3 of us, with smokes and have that plant in with 30 seconds, especially on like Consulate?
Right. Oh yeah.
So
it's pretty ridiculous. And I mean, last night we ran into, to touch on the objective thing, we ran into a point to where we were playing on, what is that biker map? I completely forget it.
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. We played on Clubhouse, right? And the 3 of us were playing objective to a T. And then we died. And then our 2 randoms were playing Call of Duty. I mean, they were running all over the map, and so was the opposing team. Nobody was playing objective. It was so freaking hilarious to watch.
The opposing team could have planted a good 2 minutes before the round ended.
Yeah.
And they ended up losing. But we won that match somehow. It was actually kind of annoying.
It's that's one thing. If I could say any changes I would make to the current game is enforcing in some way, shape, or form, and there's no way you can truly enforce it, but having people play the game the way it was meant to be played. And another iteration, before you go on that, another thing I would like to see, and I know it's not going to happen, there's 2 other game modes currently in Siege, right? So one is to where it is completely a TDM. You got to capture, whatever one room that objective's in, but it's a TDM
Secure.
match.
Yeah.
100. Yeah, secure. That's purely TDM. But hostage, I would love to see fucking hostage be implemented as a new ranked form of game mode, because
We never play hostage.
I know, but man, could you imagine how many times some of these quote unquote pro players rushing teams would kill that hostage?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to make you play that game 100% differently. Now, granted, back when hostage used to be a big thing in the early years, we used to play it a lot, and I can't tell you how many times, just as quick as we would go in and plant in 30 seconds, you would see an enemy attacker come in, grab the hostage, run outside, match over.
Damn.
That fucking quick.
That's an Amaru right there. She's probably great at hostage.
Yeah.
Right.
When I played a long time ago before I started playing with y'all, that's what I played.
Right. Damn.
But I mean, just to spice things up, you take off the bomb and throw hostage in.
Yeah.
See how people play that way.
Or just add it. Have 2 different ranks. You're ranked in as a golden bomb, but you're ranked as a platinum and hostage. Like there's different ranks. They have that on Rocket League. You play ranked for doubles or triples, and like that makes sense.
And not even the game modes. Like, how many maps are we missing because they're strictly casual?
Yep.
I.e. Plane, Favela,
And they're not even casual anymore because we've been playing casual more to play more maps, and they've even taken those out of rotation. I'm like, why? It's casual.
Yeah, like one map they put back in that I hate with an utter passion is Tower.
Yes.
Oh, I can't stand Tower, dude.
It's
just too big.
I would much rather, and it's another big map, I would much rather play Bartlett University on multiplayer.
That'd be fun. I don't even know if Dalton's ever seen that.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, dude, you'll get that a lot on Terrorist Hunt.
Go on a Terrorist Hunt and play Bartlett University.
Okay.
That map's pretty beast. But Tower's
really cool.
Oh.
Yeah, Tower.
Tower. I know Skyscraper, which is like the Asian style one. That one's supposed to get a rework. I thought tower was supposed to get one too. I'm not 100%. I'd have to look in on it though.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of go off of what you were saying about like forcing objective. It's not a way to force it, but I think what they need to do, you need to get more points for defusing and planting. I want to see somebody who has 10 kills and 2 deaths in last place because the first place guy has 2 kills but planted 3 times and defused once. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Make objective the reason to play, not kills.
Yeah,
Right.
no, 100%. I can't argue a single word of that.
Yep. That's all you gotta do, just points, I think. But yeah, let's go ahead and I gotta turn back a couple pages, but we have the 3 of us thought of ideas of like, if we were to implement an attacker or a defender, what they would do, what they would have. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it. Let me pull up my notes.
Yeah,
I
pull up your
completely
notes.
don't have it anymore, but I think I remember my attacker defender. My memory's such shit.
Dude, this guy is also supposed to be on camera for the first time today, and he's still not because that's
Right.
Bliss.
Bliss, we're gonna have to do like a face reveal video for you.
Right?
I know, right?
Just so when it finally happens, people will be like, meh.
Eh,
Yeah, he looks like that asshole.
they're like, that's it?
Just picture like a hot dog with a little bit of hair. That's it.
Wow.
You look like a walking thumb, bro.
I'm-
Shut
I'm
up.
the only one that's gonna have a
really
full
sure,
head of hair. Like
Hey.
in my 60s.
Yeah, maybe one day you'll have a full beard too. So
I choose to keep it short, thank you very much.
that's what it is.
Yeah, I take offense
Okay.
to that.
Yeah, you and your little pubes on your chin.
It's all right.
I still have mine written down. I went all out. I went
Mm.
like full on height, weight, and everything with mine
I didn't
because
go full out.
it was so much fun to do.
It was
I
fun.
think. But I'll start with one, and then we'll go to you guys. I'll start with my attacker, who female attacker. Had her coming from Poland, part of the Polish Special Forces, which I then realized Ella and Zofia are part of. So I hate that because I hate Zofia. But her code name is Cricket. I have her as a 3-speed, 1 armor, and the gadget was kind of you as an attacker you throw it almost like Ella throws her Gersmont mines, and what it does is you get 2 chirps per gadget, and you only get two gadgets. And what it does is it simulates the noise of running or repelling, one of those 2. That way, someone like Bliss, who's really good at pushing objective by himself, can throw that down one hallway, set it off, and then flank around. That gives the attackers basically the same thing as if a defender rushes out, I feel. The way to kind of balance it would be to say that teammates can't use it at all. It's strictly for her. I gave her Dokubi's DMR, Warden's shotgun, gave her a breach charge and a smoke. And I'd probably switch to breach charge for the new breach, the hard breach. So that's my attacker.
All right,
Auburn,
I'll go. So my attacker is from the USA, and because USA is good at blowing things up, you'll understand that in a second. Name Jonathan Creed, code name Boom. I got him out as a 2-speed, 2 armor. And his special gadget is kind of a mix between a breach and a fuse kind of thing. So it's a 2-handed launcher that can shoot through and like put a hole in reinforced walls, or it can kind of act like a fuse through soft walls.
Okay, so for a reinforcement, it makes a hole.
Yeah, kind of
For
like
a soft
breach
wall,
charge.
it goes through.
Yeah, and almost works sort of like not like multiple like bombs like a fuse kind of does, but just
Right.
like one kind of more effective one.
One big one.
Yeah,
So that would definitely force defenders to reinforce, which they don't
Yeah.
do. So that's a good idea.
so yeah, you
I
can
like
definitely
that.
take advantage of defenders not being strategic with their reinforcements.
I actually like that a lot, especially if you pop a hatch from underneath or
Yep.
something. That's pretty cool. I ain't mad at that. What about you, Bliss? Do you remember your attacker?
God, no. I remember they're from Sweden. One's from Sweden, one's from Austria. I remember my defender.
I'm trying to think of your attacker now.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
I
I
don't
want to say my
remember.
attacker was Whisper.
I honestly don't.
I remember the meme we were doing where it was Joe Biden.
Yeah.
No, I want to say my attacker. Man, I'll just spitball it from here. So if I were to have an attacker, just as basic as possible, not as in depth as you guys went, but let's call him Whisper. Having the ability to identify, enemy troop movement in some way, shape, or form through a game. I know my defender. I can tell you that one.
Right.
Let me just go ahead and do my defender. So
do your defender.
My defender was from was Austria, I think it was. Yeah, and I forgot the code name for that one, but shit. You're telling
It's
me.
shit.
But yeah,
That's
it was
code
pretty
name.
good. So what she had was it was a female, and she had a blow dart, and she had 2 shots on this blow dart.
That was your attacker. Your defender was the sniper, bro.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
I just
There we go.
remembered.
Okay. Thank you.
Your
All right, so
attacker had the blow dart.
My attackers from Sweden had the blow dart, and the 2 darts that you had, if you shot it and missed, you could not pick up the dart, right? You had to hit. But once you hit that attacker with that blow dart, it would give the entire defending team, I believe I said, an outlook of where all attackers are for a set amount of time.
Defenders. It would give the attackers an outlook.
Right. It would let the attackers see all defenders for a short period of time.
Kind of like a lion.
Right.
Yeah. But even if they're sitting still, they would still be pinged. So I like that.
Right.
Because it's pure skill based. You have to hit that blow dart.
Yeah, and you only had 2 shots to it. And I'll roll straight into my defender from this point. So my defender, her name was Chameleon. Pretty sure, right?
Yeah,
and
that's right.
She had a sniper rifle, and from this point, the sniper rifle was an RSAS. She was from Austria, and literally the operator, you would have to be prone, and it would make you would more or less have an invisibility cloak that from the naked eye you wouldn't be able to see. But if you were within a certain amount of distance, you could see a silhouette on the ground. But the ability would only be active while she was prone. She couldn't move, and that was it, I think, if I'm correct.
She had to be prone and aiming down sight.
Yeah, prone and ADSing. So,
Yep.
And she had a sniper rifle as a defender, which I think is something that we definitely need to see.
I would hate her. I would personally hate her.
Right.
A defender that could peek like that, screw that.
Only reason I'm saying so is because we have Glaz, we have Callie. There's certain instances to where that would be crucial, especially locking down hallways, bank.
Right.
I mean, that would definitely set the tempo on bank there.
Yep.
But yeah,
But the thing is now, like, people wouldn't use as it for the gadget anymore. They would just go for consulate and peek with her, and you're not going to defend against a sniper or attack against a sniper. So that would make that really hard.
What was her counter? Do you remember that?
You didn't have a counter for her. I kept saying like a Thatcher or something. The only thing that I think would make her better is the sniper rifle was the ability. You can't pull it out unless you're prone.
Fair enough.
That's what I think.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So that's only because then, if you just roam with a sniper as a defender, oof. But then again, you take consulate, you're defending front door. If you're laying prone, then you're dangerous.
Right.
People aren't gonna be able to see you that well. But when she shoots, you're gonna be able to see her a little bit because she moves. You know what I mean? So it's like she has a good counter. She could work, I think, if you made it to where the sniper rifle was just the ability and she can't roam with it.
Right.
For my defender, codename was Anchor from the Hungarian Defense Force. He was, where's the 3 armor, 1 speed, slow dude. But this guy came to my idea because If you could think real quick, what attacker has 0 counter to him? Can you think of that? Because there's one attacker who you cannot counter no matter what for his ability. It's Maverick.
Maverick, yeah.
You can mute a wall, you can bandit a wall, nothing happens. So what this guy has is basically it's a flammable foam that coats walls. So you would get like 2. You can coat any 2 walls you want. And say if Maverick uses his torch on it, it sends a freaking explosion of a backdraft. Boom! Right into his face. So that you can do a Maverick from the side. So then it would go that way and you might get a little damage. But if you're front on, you're done. And then also for like Thatchers and Habana and Ace, not so much because they're distance. Not Thatcher, but Thermite. Sorry. Thermite would really take a hit from that if he didn't back up in time. So the biggest thing would be for a Maverick. So I think it would slow down rushes. Say you're Ash, because you could put it on a soft wall. So say you're Ash and you're running and you're running towards that wall you just blew and it shoots a backdraft towards you. You ain't running towards that wall anymore. So it would obviously go out and just leave a hole eventually, but I think it would be a good counter to a Maverick.
Yeah, I remember that one because mine was a little similar in a way. For mine, it was codenamed Stall French. His special gadget was he can reinforce walls with reactive barriers that, like, if an explosive detonates on it, it triggers a second explosion to deflect the initial blast, therefore killing or injuring the attacker that put the explosive on the wall.
Yeah, I think that's basic. Just like breaches, these new hard breachers, even they need some kind of defender that kind of has what we're saying.
Yeah.
I was like doing research on if anybody else had been doing. There's a YouTuber out there, the Senator or something. He does a special where people turn in ideas, and I've read some on like Reddit and stuff. And somebody had a cool idea of it's a gadget that you put on a reinforcement or a reinforced wall, and when a hole's blown, it then does a quick fill of a foam.
Ooh, that's
so
interesting.
like you get the hole and then all of a sudden it's gone, but it quick fills with basically a soft wall, so you'd have to break it again or shotgun it. But I think that's a cool idea also. You still there, Bliss? We lose you again?
I'm here. Yeah, I had a little fluctuation in the connection there again.
Got that storm out there.
I'm telling you.
So, but we're sitting at about an hour and 45 minutes. It was a good podcast. We covered everything with the season. Hopefully we got another one in us, and next season we'll be back to review that. And maybe by the end of this season, a little more, we'll get back on and give our final thoughts on how this season ended up. But anything else you guys want to say before we take off?
Yes, soon here coming out, we're going to have Fallen Banners of the North. So
yes, that's a podcast that Bliss and I are doing, strictly covering Game of Thrones. Something that he and I are both pretty passionate about, and we've done 2 episodes on the ICEcast covering it, and it just didn't get the response that he and I liked. So we're going to do a separate one, just that. So if you watch this and you are a Game of Thrones fan, watch out for that. Auburn, how's the Climpcast going, bro? You got anything coming out soon?
I'm actually I was slacking a little bit. I need to get back to recording. But yeah, so those listening, if y'all want to check out the Climpcast, it's one word, KLIMPCAST. Definitely going to be doing, now that NFL is back, a lot more sports stuff. Probably talk a little bit about how playoffs are going with the NBA. And then a little bit kind of like what Rick does on his, just chatting with people, talking about different topics. Try not to compete with him too much, so I stick with the sports side a little more. But yeah, check it out.
Yeah, man, he has an awesome job covering everything. Keep your eye on that one too, because he had a cool idea for the 3 of us, and we're going to do it on his podcast where we're going to recast Star Wars, the franchise. Yes. So that's going to be a long one. It's going to take a while for us to recast it. it's almost blasphemy to even think of recasting some of those. But it was a good idea, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Just to touch on that, as of right now, I do have this list in front of me. We have 96 characters from the entire Star Wars franchise to
Whoa.
recast.
Let's
This is
leave
just
it at
the
that.
movies, though, bro. Just
This
the
is
movies.
this is going from episode 1 to episode 9.
I don't even know 96 actors, cuz.
I haven't even
Damn.
seen
Trust
past
me.
6.
Man, you better get to watching.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You better get on it.
Only
And that's
1 through
and I
6.
did not include the Han Solo movie. I did not include Rogue
Okay,
One.
good.
None of those. So it's strictly 1 through 9.
The Skywalker saga, basically. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to doing that.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Basically, just text us that list so we can start working on it. And when we're all done, Auburn, whenever you're ready, dude.
Yeah, we can go ahead and get it split, get working on it, and
And what I'm going to do with
Hopefully
reference to
soon.
this list, I'm going to break it down, and
Episode.
you're not going to have a choice. So I've got each episode that the actors are from. So 96 in total. Got each episode they're all from, and I'm going to just chop the list in half into 3s, and you get what you get. So
Wow.
all right, that's gonna be
Okay,
so
so
much fun.
we're not all doing 96. We're gonna get. Okay, thank
Oh,
gosh.
that's a
Yeah.
lot better.
Okay, yeah.
we're gonna break it all down, and then you just don't get to choose.
All right.
don't
Apparently,
have
you
that-
get to choose.
That's right. It's a big list, so
How about you let your wife split them up? That way, you don't have a say in it.
Oh my lord.
Or put in like one of those random splitter
Yeah.
group.
Give them numbers and
websites.
download a
I'll give
random number
numbers. I can put it
generator.
on a random generator. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
I can do that.
There you go.
Awesome.
Then there's no bias to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
That's-
try.
He's not used to that.
I'm gonna try to
you
get
had
that.
Darth Vader, Rick. So I mean, come on.
Well,
I hooked you up.
well, I don't know if I could recast that voice, bro. James Earl Jones is
Yes.
iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll probably try to, even if I just do it by my self and no guests, I'm gonna try to get a football episode out
I just want to throw
sometime about halfway through this week.
What about
Right.
Morgan Freeman for Darth Vader?
I mean, yeah, you never know. I look forward to the baseball episode. Obviously, when the World Series comes around, man, get me on there. I'll help you out. I know you don't follow baseball as much as I do, but
I
I'll
can
definitely
study
get
up
back
to,
that.
keep up there with you.
Yeah, you need to since you shit on my White Sox so hard the other night. You
Yeah, I
almost.
did.
Wait, they're actually a team.
Ooh, they're actually. What's your team in baseball?
Well, hold on. I have converted out of pure spite for relative bloodline. I am
Right.
now a purely Tampa Bay fan. Buccaneers,
Rays.
Devil Rays,
Jeez.
Lightning. I'm going all
Dude.
the way.
I'm gonna tell you what. Since we're on the quick topic of sports, and we'll end it on this. This is the best sports week for me I've ever had. Browns won on Thursday. Finally, they looked good. They finally got that
The
win.
Bengals.
I don't care. It's a win, bro. When you're a Browns fan,
There.
you take a win.
True.
But on the same week, White Sox clinch a spot in the playoffs. Lightning take their spot in the Stanley Cup, which they got their asses beat in the first game. But still, awesome week for sports for me. So
Yeah. I'm gonna
I'll
try
agree
to
with
get
the
into
Lightning.
hockey.
I agree.
yeah,
with you.
hockey's so cool.
We need to go to a game.
I'm down, dude. As soon as they allow fans back, I'm in.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, I'm
going-
actually. I decided. So now my way that I'm gonna get myself into hockey is I'm gonna follow the new team that's coming out in a few years, Seattle Kraken.
It's just
I'm gonna make that my team just because I have no connection to really any hockey team. So I'm like, that can be my way. I know they're probably not gonna be
Lightning,
good
bro.
soon. I have no
Lightning.
connection to Lightning, minus the fact I
Neither,
lived in
neither do
Florida.
I.
Watch it.
Neither do I. I'm just
I'll tell you-
converting.
You want to know how I got into hockey? Funny enough, the game. It was like free to play once, so I downloaded it. I started playing it, and I was like, "This is a lot of fun." And then like a game came on, I was like, "I'll watch it." And then I was hooked, bro. Love the Lightning.
Yeah, I've played NHL games before on console.
On that note, we're gonna sign off, guys. I appreciate you joining as always, and
Thanks for having me.
hopefully you guys check out the Clipcast, and then when we get the Fallen Banners out, check that out. They're all, guys.
Yeah.